This is Top 30. Coming up, if you answered a certain telemarketing call, you could be eligible for a $1,200 payment. Did the Met Gala cross the line with its religious theme? And born through an egg donation, this college student found her biological mom, and they share more than just DNA. I'm gonna love you. But first, the federal government is warning drivers that certain pickup trucks are dangerous. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration says owners of certain Ford Ranger and Mazda B-Series pickups from the 2006 model year are an immediate risk to safety. Both trucks have defective airbags made by Takata. The airbags have been tied to 13 deaths and more than 180 injuries in the U.S. About 37 million vehicles have been recalled. The agency issued a rare do not drive warning for the trucks because too few of them have been repaired and their airbags are considered to be high risk. The agency deputy administrator said, "I cannot stress strongly enough the urgency of this recall. Every vehicle must be accounted for now." Both Ford and Mazda say dealers will tow the vehicles for free so they can be fixed at no charge without owners getting behind the wheel. Chemicals used to inflate the airbags can become unstable. In a collision, the airbag can deploy with too much force and send metal shrapnel flying. The chemicals break down over time, so older vehicles are at higher risk. To see if your vehicle is under this recall, go to the NHTSA website listed below. Now to the New York Stock Exchange for our Fox Business Minute with Nicole Petalides. So, Nicole, I hear fashion designers are preparing for the royal wedding.
That's right, Kristen. Royal wedding fever is rising, especially among wedding gown designers who hope Meghan Markle's dress will be trendy enough to help boost sales. Get this, Markle-inspired designs could be done minutes after she walks down the aisle and emailed to the factories before the end of the ceremony. Apple is once again inching toward becoming a $1 trillion company, a feat no U.S. company has ever accomplished. Its current market cap is just over $900 billion. Walmart is going to restrict opioid prescriptions in a move to help fight the epidemic. Its pharmacies are going to limit customers' opioid prescriptions to just a 7-day supply and require e-prescriptions by 2020.
We all know about the epidemic. Just how bad has it become?
According to the CDC, an estimated 115 Americans die each day from an overdose. In 2016, opioids were responsible for 42,000 deaths in the United States. That's the highest on record.
Wow, just shocking statistics there, but good to see Walmart doing something about it. Thanks, Nicole.
It may be more dangerous for soccer players to hit the ball with their heads than to suffer a collision. A study by the Albert Einstein College of Medicine linked heading the ball to cognitive impairment. Amateur soccer players in New York were surveyed about how many blows they'd taken to the head by mistake and how many times they headed the ball on purpose. The researchers discovered that players who headed the ball the most performed worse on tests of their attention and reaction time. By contrast, players who had accidental blows to the head, such as a kick or a collision with a goalpost, weren't found to have impaired mental function. The study's authors don't know if the effects are only temporary. They say they're worried repeated headings could translate to microstructural changes in the brain that then lead to persistently impaired function. The scientists say more research is needed to see if the effects of heading are permanent.
The first Monday in May is considered the highlight of the fashion industry's annual calendar. It's the date of the Met Gala, best known for stars posing in custom couture on the steps of the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York City. The event raises money for the Met's Costume Institute, and this year's theme was Heavenly Bodies, Fashion, and the Catholic Imagination. While the religious overtone sparked controversy when it was first announced 6 months ago, designers ran with it. The big trends of the night were headdresses and veils, rich colors like black, white, and deep red, and of course, lots of crosses. Some stars really committed to the theme. Rihanna looked like a bedazzled pope. Katy Perry sported enormous angel wings. Chadwick Boseman put his own twist on a priest's robe, and Jared Leto looked more like a modern-day Jesus with his flowing hair and gold crown. Fittingly, Madonna did a surprise performance, singing her 1989 hit Like a Prayer. But whether celebs went all out or played it safe, the elaborate outfits were definitely a feast for the eyes. Top 30, we'll be right back. Welcome back. Our friend Headcrack over at Dish Nation dishes up the hottest celebrity news. So, Headcrack, I hear a pop icon had a unique birthday party?
That's right, Kristen. Adele turned 30 this past weekend, and she decided to celebrate with a party inspired by a favorite movie, the 1997 classic Titanic. Adele shared some pictures on Instagram, calling it the best night of her life. Another super talented lady will also be having a great night soon. Janet Jackson is set to receive the Billboard Icon Award at the May 20th ceremony in Las Vegas. Now, past recipients include Prince, Cher, Stevie Wonder, Celine Dion, and Jennifer Lopez. Though Justin Timberlake as your presenter, it sounds like an amazing night for Janet. And did you know Jada Pinkett Smith and Gabrielle Union had a feud? Yeah. Jada told Extra that they haven't been on the best of terms for 17 years, but don't worry, the feud is over. The two sat down for Jada's new Facebook Watch show to patch things up. Vin Diesel, you paying attention? Maybe Jada can help you and The Rock fix things just in time for Fast and Furious 10. We're hoping. Anyway, that was this week's Dish, and we'll see you next time.
We're hoping too. Thanks, Headcrack. For the latest celebrity news, watch Dish Nation weekdays. Check your local listings.
A growing trend is hurting many Americans planning for retirement. So-called grey divorce in people over 50 has doubled since the 1990s. Divorces of couples over 65 have tripled in the same time. Financial experts say it's the worst time to divorce because it can derail or destroy retirement plans with less time to recover than a younger couple. Funds in IRAs, 401ks, pensions and other types of retirement accounts will usually need to be divided. One accountant tells Kiplingers you essentially are splitting your assets but potentially doubling your expense footprint. Experts suggest partners look into collaborative divorce, where lawyers try to find a settlement that works for both parties. Under the recent tax legislation, alimony income isn't taxable starting in 2019. It could be worth renegotiating a settlement in order to pay less. The greatest fear for retirees is running out of money before they run out of time to enjoy it.
A woman is set to make history by interviewing with an NBA team for its head coaching job. ESPN is reporting Becky Hammon will meet with the Milwaukee Bucks to discuss the team's head coaching vacancy. This will be the first time a female has interviewed for a head coaching position with any NBA team. Hammon has spent the past 4 years as an assistant coach with the Spurs and has also coached the team's summer league team to a championship in 2015 and then returned to the same position in 2016. She played 16 years in the WNBA, making the All-Star team 6 times. The Bucks' new head coach will inherit a playoff team with a core of young players that has made the playoffs 3 of the last 4 years. The Bucks haven't said when they'll announce their new coach, so we'll have to wait and see if Hammon can make history again by getting the job. Now to some good news. Thousands of people across the country who received a telemarketing call from Dish Network may be eligible for a $1,200 payment for each call they got. That's because Dish Network owes $61 million in a class action lawsuit after a jury ruled the company called people on the Do Not Call registry in 2010 and 2011. A judge then determined Dish willfully and knowingly violated the law and set the damages at $1,200 per call. Now lawyers are trying to get the word out, but they're having a hard time because a lot of people think it sounds like a scam. To see if your phone number is one that is eligible for a payment, go to the Top 30 TV Facebook page and click on the link. Dish is appealing the ruling and blames an outside contractor, saying they violated Dish's marketing instructions. Top 30, we'll be right back. Welcome back. New York Attorney General Eric Schneiderman resigned just hours after 4 women accused him of physical assault in a New Yorker article. The women all admitted to having a romantic relationship with the city's top law enforcement officer, but say they were repeatedly slapped and choked by Schneiderman and even sought medical attention. And the palace has shared 2 new photos of Prince William and Kate's latest addition, Prince Louis. This first one was taken just 3 days after his April 23rd birth. The second is a shot of his big sister Charlotte giving him a kiss while he sleeps in her lap, taken on her 3rd birthday earlier this month. And Avengers Infinity War has already made a record $1 billion at the box office, and most of the original cast celebrated with matching tattoos. Star Robert Downey Jr. revealed that he, Scarlett Johansson, Chris Evans, Jeremy Renner, and Chris Hemsworth all got the tats, with Mark Ruffalo opting out. And if you think that's a little crazy, listen to this story. Nearly 2 decades ago, Amy Throckmorton became an egg donor when she was a college student at USC. Amy said she was excited by the idea of helping a couple start a family. And when she was filling out forms at the egg bank, she checked a box saying she was open to being contacted by a potential child. Well, Amy didn't know if any of her eggs resulted in a birth until one day, a young woman named Elizabeth Gaba reached out to her. Gaba knew her entire life that she was born via egg donation and surrogacy. And when she was 18, she was able to track down Amy, her biological mother. It turns out Amy and Gaba share a lot more than just DNA. Gaba is also a student at USC, and she's studying music, the same major that Amy studied. But that's not where the similarity ends. Gaba is in the same a cappella group that Amy was in when she was in college. So naturally, when they met, they had to sing together. Just listen.
I'm gonna love you till you start looking back.
And the harmonizing won't end anytime soon because they plan on keeping in touch. Top 30, we'll be right back. In today's Hometown Stories from Fox 26 Houston, Hurricane Harvey left Estella Beaudreal's house destroyed. Unable to afford the repairs needed, she didn't know if she'd ever have a home again. But thanks to Team Rubicon and SBP, the 78-year-old was just surprised with a newly rebuilt home. Both nonprofits help those affected by natural disasters, and they've teamed up to rebuild 100 homes for victims of Hurricane Harvey. Estella's was the first, and it looks like a success. Our next story from Fox 2 Detroit. 1 year ago, Sean English was on the side of the highway helping victims of an accident when another car lost control and struck him and another Good Samaritan. Grateful to be alive, he was left without his lower right leg. But now the high school senior returns to the track for the first time since the accident, dedicating his run to those who weren't as lucky as him on that fateful day.
I never thought in a million years that I'd be able to run today.
Our final story from Fox 35 Orlando. 97-year-old Juanita Epton is one dedicated employee. She just celebrated her 60th year working at the Daytona International Speedway. Juanita started in 1958 and even sold tickets to the very first Daytona 500 back in 1959. The Speedway held a party in honor of the beloved employee.
I've met the nicest people along the way, and I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world.
Juanita says she loves her job, and it doesn't look like she's going to be stopping anytime soon.
Scientists have used artificial intelligence to predict how long patients will live. In a new study from Stanford University, researchers used AI to analyze anonymous medical records. The system was asked to predict which patients would survive the next 3 to 12 months. The AI was 90% accurate. It has always been hard for doctors to predict the same thing. They have to consider a person's age, family history, how they respond to medication, and what their health issue is. The researchers say their findings could be used to help doctors figure out which patients should be treated more aggressively. Experts say some patients are likely to be skeptical of AI predicting their lifespan, but the actual decisions would rest with their healthcare provider. The doctors say the system will improve as it gets more information from patients.
Over $100,000 worth of purses was stolen from a major mall just outside of Philadelphia. And Mike Jarek from Fox 29 in Philly has all the details. Hey, Mike.
I didn't do it, but the name of the mall is King of Prussia Mall. It is the largest shopping mall in the country. It's not Mall of America. No, this is even bigger. It was a group. There was a woman and three or four guys, and they stole $112,000 worth of designer handbags. They've done it 3 times, and the last time they got out of there with 26 different designer bags.
In all 3 of those incidents, people went into the stores, quickly grabbed the merchandise, and fled to an awaiting vehicle.
So, Mike, did police release any other details about the robberies?
Well, they haven't told us which stores exactly have been robbed, but the last time it happened, they threatened violence. That's why security guards didn't run after them this time.
And hopefully law enforcement catches them very soon. Thanks, Mike. Well, most 4-year-olds spend their free time climbing trees and playing tag, but Avid Coulier is different. The New Brunswick, Canada toddler is a prodigy whose works of art have already sold for thousands of dollars. His mother, Shruti, says he's been painting since he was 1 and says he was creating something, not just playing with colors. He had a sense of composition and color. Since moving to New Brunswick from India in 2016, Avid has had the opportunity to share his paintings at Art Expo New York, which is said to be the world's largest fine art marketplace. So far, Avid has earned about $23,000 from his work, but his family said they will support him in whatever direction he chooses in the future. They just want him to be happy. Now moving on, as we age, many of us get those dreaded smile lines. And last year, nearly 3 million people turned to cosmetic skin fillers, even though these procedures can have serious complications. Which is why we've got today's Top 30 steal, Dermalex Smooth Upper Lip Anti-Aging Treatment at a special 34% discount. You can erase lines without those painful injections or irritations. Wrinkles and discoloration can leave us feeling bad about our appearance. But this anti-aging lip treatment combines a rich blend of peptides, which encourages collagen stimulation and helps even out your skin tone. It also improves the growth of skin cells to prevent premature aging. And you can see results in as little as 3 weeks. The Dermalex Smooth Upper Lip Anti-Aging Treatment retails for $38. But today you can buy it for just $25. That's a 34% discount. You can get this right now at shoptop30.com while they last. And Top 30 will be right back. Welcome back. Illegal Airbnb rentals are at the center of a multi-million-dollar lawsuit. The city of San Francisco is suing a couple for allegedly renting out apartments illegally. The prosecution is seeking fines of $5.5 million. A city law says building owners can only list 1 unit for short-term rental if it's their actual home. Darren and Valerie Lee allegedly rented out 14. It's earned them $700,000 in illegal rental fees. City lawmakers say that during an inspection, the apartments were staged to look like residences, complete with dirty dishes in the sink. Airbnb has been criticized for driving up rents because some landlords use it to run what amounts to illegal hotels. That takes apartments off the market and drives up rental costs. A recent report in New York City said Airbnb caused New Yorkers to pay an additional $616 million in rent in just 1 year. Airbnb says the report misrepresents their impact on the rental market. The Me Too and Time's Up movement are helping bring the issue of gender equality to the forefront. But the issue may be much deeper than most people realize. Katie Couric is exploring a concept called implicit bias, subconscious stereotypes that impact our understanding, actions, and decisions. She spoke with a social psychologist at Harvard University about how it impacts gender roles.
The human brain has something like 200 billion neurons. It's just trying to use whatever rules it has learned as it runs around in the world. We want to put things together and see what goes with what. If I said to you bread, what's the first thing that comes to mind? Butter. Why? Because they go together.
I was going to say cheese.
Cheese. All right. Okay. All right. French Katie says cheese instead of butter because the vast majority of us have very strong associations to any particular object that we've learned about. What are the data? Mom stays at home, dad goes to work for many people. Or mom goes to work and dad goes to work, but when we come home, mom cooks.
For more, watch America Inside Out with Katie Couric Wednesday at 10/9 Central on Nat Geo. Well, Major League Baseball batters accomplished something that's never been done before, but not too many people are celebrating. In April, batters had more strikeouts, 6,656, than hits, 6,380. The first time that's ever happened in league history. Overall, strikeouts have set a record high for 10 straight seasons, and players and fans say it's a disturbing trend for America's pastime. Some of the reasons: there are more specialized pitchers, more data on batters, and striking out doesn't have the same stigma it used to. Fewer balls in play make for a less exciting game, and fans may have started to take notice. Attendance is down more than 9% compared to last year, although there could be other factors influencing that decrease. Baseball's commissioner says 1 month is a small sample size, and he's confident the trend will reverse soon. More Top 30 after this. Welcome back. Well, you think college is expensive now? Parents with infants may want to brace themselves for how much tuition will be in 18 years. A new study by Wealthfront analyzed data from the Department of Education and factored in annual inflation to come up with projections for 2036. For a public university, the data shows the cost for 4 years of tuition, room and board, and supplies will be $184,000. That's up from $101,000 today. And for a private university, the projection is $303,000 in 2036, up from $167,000 today. Experts say it's never too early to start saving for a child's education, and one way is to utilize a 529 plan. There can be various tax benefits to these plans depending on which state you're in, so check with an accountant to find out how it will benefit you. And that's it for today's Top 30. Here's what's coming up on our next show. Fewer millennials are buying starter homes. We'll tell you where they're moving. Plus, Netflix might be good for binging, but bad for romance. And Prince's Caribbean getaway could be yours, but it won't come cheap. You can also listen to the day's biggest stories when you subscribe to the new Top 30 podcast. We'll see you next time here on Top 30.